Hi you all, hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Shelly and today you really clicked on a good video, a fantastic video, a video that I have been excited to make since I heard about the announcement of Nonfiction November. Originally I wasn't super excited about Nonfiction November when I first heard about it all those months ago when I first started my channel, but my excitement for it has only been growing and growing and growing because I realized that I'm a bit more of a nonfiction reader than I gave myself credit for. I love a really good memoir, I love a really good biography, I love reading about certain pieces of history, but memoir and biography are really like my cups of tea, so to speak, and I really enjoy them, and I've read quite a few. Also, if you don't know what Nonfiction November is, the only thing you have to do for Nonfiction November is read one nonfiction book. This could be, as I mentioned, a memoir, a biography, a how-to book, a book about a certain piece of history, a book about a certain event in history. It just has to be non-fiction. Oh, you can also read about certain subjects like bees or flowers or trees or birds or whatever your heart so desires. It is a rich area of literature that I think is getting more attention, but definitely not as much as it deserves. So Olive at A Book Olive, she puts on this wonderful event, and the way she does it is that she puts up 4 words as our prompts, and we can interpret those words as we see fit, as much as we want to interpret them. And so they could represent 4 books that fit the 4 prompts, or you can have, one book that fits 2 prompts. However you want to do it. She leaves it very open, which I really appreciate, and I was really intrigued by the 4 words. So our 4 words this year are collection, industry, style, and treatment. Okay, so I have 2 books that I'm definitely going to focus my energies on. They are, one of which is a little bit of a longer read, and the other one is a buddy read, but they do fit. So the first one, Olive herself said that this author got her into nonfiction, and I really have high hopes for this. This was also a Steve Donahue approved choice because I emailed him about where to start with, Catherine the Great, and it is Catherine the Great by Robert K. Massey. This won the Nonfiction Pulitzer Prize of its year. It is all about the great Russian queen, Catherine the Great, and really, I don't know much about the Russians. Olive, if you're watching, I don't know much about the Russians, but I'm hoping that this book gets me into the Russians, and it stands in for the prompt collection because it is part of Robert K. Massey's series that has Peter the Great, Nicholas and Alexandria, and the Romanovs, along with Catherine the Great. And it is a tome, but I've heard it is very exciting and very readable, so I know I can read it in this month. And it is on my list of books that I want to read before I die, so I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone, so to speak. Very excited about this one. The next one is a buddy read with the David Wiley, and I'm very excited about this. We both heard about this book on Steve Donahue's channel, and that is Steinbeck's The Acts of King Arthur and His Noble Knights. This falls under style because Steinbeck he has this witty, dry humor that people knew about and would reference often in his real life, friends of his and the way he was at parties and such. But that wry, dry humor, that wit, doesn't really come out in his other works, his other more famous works, so to speak. I have not read any of his works except for the Red Pony, which won him the Nobel Prize for Literature, I believe, of that year. And so I've read that, and it was very straightforward in regards to the language. There wasn't any witty funniness to it. it was more sort of somber and was telling a very solemn story. But I heard this book, per Steve Donahue, said that The Acts of King Arthur and His Noble Knights by Steinbeck, this nonfiction work, really has that style that he was known for in his real life. Steinbeck, that is. So I am really excited. Of course, I haven't read The Grapes of Wrath or East of Eden or any of those wonderful, massive books that he is most known for. Instead, I go for this lesser known work, nonfiction work by John Steinbeck. Okay, the next one that I'm going to talk about, and I don't know if I'm going to get to this, but I wanted to fulfill all of the prompts because I thought it would be fun, and that is, it's going to be under industry, and it is Empress Dowager Qi, I think it's called. I need to get the name right, but it is written by Zhang Chang, and she wrote the book Wild Swans, which I've heard a lot of really, really great things about. So I think this is coming from a really great author. And under this Empress, the ancient country attained industries like railways, electricity, and military up-to-date weaponry. So she really brought a sense of industry to China during her reign. And it's subtitled The Concubine Who Landed Modern China. All right, the last one is Treatment. And I thought about this book because of Elizabeth from Bouquets and Books. If you haven't seen her Nonfiction November TBR video, please go watch it. It is like the best thing ever. But she mentioned this writer, and I was like, oh yeah, Treatment. So I thought about Roxane Gay's Bad Feminist. I've read some essays in this, but I haven't read it to its completion. So I thought I could pick away at the essays in this, pick it up, put it down throughout the month. And this is really the treatment of women. And I know that Roxane Gay has a lot to say about, she's got her finger on the pulse of like modern feminism and what it means to be a feminist today, or a bad feminist, and what that means to her in her personal life. And Roxane Gay is she's an interesting speaker, and her voice is really pronounced throughout all of her writings. But yeah, Treatment would be bad feminist. One moment. All right, I have 3 more books to talk about, one of which has to do with New Worlds November, which is a sci-fi event mostly focusing on short stories, but I'm not going to be focusing on short stories. I'm going to be focusing either on this stunning copy of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea by Jules Verne. I recently, just a few days ago, finished Journey to the Center of the Earth and really enjoyed Verne's writing. And this is, a classic sci-fi book in the most sincerest sense of the term. And so I thought this could be a really wonderful new world for me. Or I will just continue with my reading of Becky Chambers wherever I'm at. Right now, I'm really itching to start the second book in her Wayfarer series. I'll put up a picture so that you know what it is, but I can't remember the name at this point. So those 2 are my choices, my top choices for New World November. And then I have one last read that is a buddy read with someone here on Booktube, but I need to reach out to this person because we haven't talked about it since we set it up, but this person seems very reliable, so I'm sure it will happen. And it's going to be A.S. Byatt's A Biographer's Tale. This will be my first dive into A.S. Byatt's work. I know that she's mostly more known for her work on possession, but I own A Biographer's Tale, and so I wanted to give it a go, and I found someone here on Booktube that was looking to read this book as well, and I sort of invited myself along on their reading journey of this book. So hopefully we can set that up and move forward with that buddy read. Otherwise, that is it. I'm going to link announcements for Nonfiction November and New Worlds November down below. Again, you only have to read 1 book of nonfiction to participate, but isn't this so exciting? I don't know. I'm just really thrilled to be participating in this. I have found nonfiction very fulfilling, very interesting in a way that fiction just can't quite grasp. I'm excited to dive in. And then New Worlds November is just fitting in with what I've been enjoying reading lately. So all is going well. Okay, that's it. Tell me what you're reading. Tell me what you're planning on reading for November. Are you participating? Are you not participating? Please let me know. Okay, and that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here and spending your time with me. And I will see you all in my next one. Bye, guys.